states like Arizona and North Carolina, but trails in Michigan and Pennsylvania, though he's catching up in Pennsylvania too. His strengths, if we talk about Trump's key strengths, include solid support among white voters, especially those without a college degree, and persistence of being strong on economic issues.
We can't forget Arizona and North Carolina
Yes.
too. So Trump's holding on to slight leads there in these two states, but they are well within the margin of error.
Texas is going to vote red, which is Republicans, and blues are Democrats. So they're not going to change. But Ohio, Pennsylvania, Arizona, all these are like very interesting states now. And with that is going to be like with inflation and economic uncertainty still topping the mind of the voters. That is going to be very interesting now.
Really underscores the historical weight of this election. We are not just watching a political race; we are witnessing a potential reshaping of American political norms. So,
good evening, guys. Welcome to Aaj Samvad. I'm Pramesh, here with my co-host Shalin.
hello.
Today we are diving deep into the latest polls for 2024 US presidential elections between Trump and Harris. So, a couple of things just to mention the strengths and weaknesses of both. So first, talking about Trump, mainly for the battleground states, Trump maintains a slight lead in states like Arizona and North Carolina, but trails in Michigan and Pennsylvania, though he's catching up in Pennsylvania too. His strengths, if we talk about Trump's key strengths, include solid support among white voters, especially those without a college degree, and persistence of being strong on economic issues. He has a notable following among older voters and consistently appeals to Republican loyalists. Whereas if we talk about his weaknesses, Trump's weaknesses consist of high unfavorable ratings, particularly among independents and men. Many voters are also skeptical, they say so, about him due to his previous presidency and ongoing legal issues, which many undermine his undermine his appeal. If we talk about Harris, Harris leads Trump in key battleground states, but she has lost some of her mojo that she actually gained initially. That may be because of Trump putting a negative campaign against her, but certainly she is losing her lead. So Harris performs well among suburban voters, young voters, women, and lacks support from Latino voters, and that is pretty strange. She actually consistently leads among black voters, which is not strange, and has strong strength among Asian Americans and is seen as a candidate representing change. Now, Harris particularly struggles with economic issues, as many voters prefer Trump's approach to inflation and cost. Now, additionally, there are concerns regarding her being a strong leader, especially compared to Biden. So, Shalin, what do you say about that? How are we doing with this Trump-Harris comparison?
So for me, this whole political landscape, what we are seeing, is unprecedented in many ways. I've been crunching numbers all week, and 538 polling averages are showing Kamala Harris with a major 2 points lead.
I think that also she has lost to Trump recently. In the last 1 or 2 days, I think she lost that too.
Yeah. So it's a dynamic, right? But we never know. I will say it is just tip of iceberg. Trump is capable of turning anything. He can turn table. So I mean, it's a very interesting one. Very few days left. So, but let's do deep dive and discuss.
Yeah, I mean, early voting is supposed to start in Texas also. I think from next week.
Next week, yeah.
It's those battleground states that will make or break this election, right? I think Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, for that matter, they are hanging in balance. I was looking at the Pennsylvania numbers earlier, and Harris is just neck to neck now. So it's enough to give up political junkies heart palpitations. But she's not doing very well in those battleground states now.
And Pramesh, we can't forget Arizona and North Carolina too. Right? So Trump's holding on to slight leads there in these two states, but they are well within the margin of error. So it can go anywhere. So basically,
yeah, it can go anywhere.
Yeah, it is a political tug of war, and neither side is having a good margin or giving an edge, you can say.
And you know what? What's fascinating to me, Shalin, how Harris seems to be outperforming Biden's numbers from before he dropped out. So she's not just holding the Democratic coalition together; she's also expanding it. So which is very good for her actually.
I'm glad you brought that up. Harris has really hit her stride in this campaign, but I feel sometimes that she joined this game a little late. But she is winning Democrats by a whopping 89 points, right? So, which is impressive in itself. But what's really caught my eye is her performance with independent.
Yes.
And she is making around 9 points gain compared to Biden numbers. So she is doing much better than Biden. Definitely, there is no doubt about that. That's a huge in a race. This
You bring a very interesting point, Shalin. Like, see, if we take like 90% for Harris and Democrats, and I think um, Trump has about 80% support among Republicans. So their core voters will always vote for them, right? It is the independents that actually will make or break this election. And this election basically hinges on two things, like how much people hate Trump for his past, what he has done, and his legal issues. And the second thing is the abortion issue among women. So if women actually support Harris, she's going to win. If not, then probably, and if they don't hate Trump that much and hate Biden, and that actually impacts Harris, then Trump may actually win in the election. Also, talk about demographics for a moment, right? So Harris is making significant inroads with suburban voters, women and young people that way. Like, so I feel that women are supporting her probably because of abortion, and then she has a 25% lead among voters under 30, and that is not something which is small that way.
Definitely, Pramesh, and you're right. But there is a catch in the whole political situation here, right? So those same young voters are the least committed to actually turning out for voting. That's also a hard fact, right? And it's remind me of the old political days that young voters are like the weather, and everyone talks about them, but nobody does anything about it.
That's a good one, Sharon. But jokes aside, like it highlights the importance of like get out the vote efforts, right? Doesn't it? The campaign that can mobilize their base and get them to the polls could have a decisive advantage. I feel like that's what is going to happen.
Absolutely. And speaking of mobilizing the base, right, we cannot ignore the Trump factor in this election. And despite facing an unprecedented 91 criminal charges across four indictments plus numerous civil lawsuits, he is still very much in this race. I mean,
And
he
that
can do anything.
right, like a person who's like been indicted so many times, and he's been like impeached by the House two times, and he's done everything like which is actually like you'll be impeached for, but because of Senate majority, he was not impeached that time. But any other person would have actually like been out of the race and gone for that matter. But Trump actually like feel is like very lucky, and he is still like very strong that way. And it's remarkable, isn't it? Like any other election cycle, like we'd be talking about a campaign in free fall, like right. But Trump has managed to turn these legal challenges into a rallying cry for his supporters.
Exactly. So his base views these changes as evidence of political persecution, which has only strengthened their resolve. And let's not forget, Trump still holds a strong card in his economic message also. So, and many voters, particularly in key swing states, first of all, these key swing state is going to be decisive in this
Yes.
election for sure. So for these key swing state, many voters still see him as the stronger candidate on economic issues.
Yeah, that's a crucial point, Shailin. Like, especially like, see, if we talk about democratic states like California and all, they'll definitely vote blue.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is going to vote red, which is Republicans, and blues are Democrats. So they're not going to change. But Ohio, Pennsylvania, Arizona, all these are like very interesting states now. And with that, that is going to be like with inflation and economic uncertainty still topping the mind of the voters, that is going to be very interesting now. So Trump's emphasis on his economic record could be a powerful motivator for people to actually go and vote for him.
There's another aspect of this election that we haven't touched on yet, which is the historical significance of Trump's run. So he's attempting something that's the only been done once before in. That's what he's doing.
You've taken about a non-consecutive term angle, right? So Grover Cleveland is the only president I think who managed to pull it off.
So yeah, that's right, Pramesh. I mean, Cleveland won in 1884, then lost 1888, and then came back again in 1892, and he won that, right? It is feat that that hasn't been repeated in over 130 years. Now, Mr. Trump is trying to join that exclusive club.
And he's not the only former president who's tried it, right? Martin Van Buren, I think, was one. Millard Fillmore was one. And then Ulysses Grant was one. Even Theodore
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, I think, who's like very
Yeah.
famous. They all made attempts at comebacks, but none were like successful at that time.
So it really underscores the historical weight of this election. We are not just watching a political race; we are witnessing a potential reshaping of American political norms. So let's see, Ramesh.
And absolutely, and it's not just about Trump, right? Like Kamala Harris is also making history in her own right. She's if she wins, she'll be the first woman president. Like, can you imagine, like 250 years of American independence, and we haven't had a single woman president, and that too, like she'll be the first African American and the first Asian American to be elected the president.
That's true. I mean, this election is breaking new ground in so many ways. And it is a testament of the evolving nature of American democracy. It's
And
going to be
Shailin, like as we are discussing all this, right, I can't help but think about how fluid this race is. There's still so much that could happen between now and election day.
You're right, Ramesh. And we haven't even mentioned the potential impact of the debates or the possibility of an October surprise.
Yeah.
In an election this close, any small shift could have major consequences.
Exactly. So the campaigns will be fighting for every vote up there, right? So up until the last day and up till the polls close, actually, it's going to be a very wild ride, I believe.
Indeed, it is, Pramesh, and we will be here to guide our listeners through every twist and turn. So let's see.
And well, folks, like you heard there on Aaj Samvad, this election is shaping up to be one for the history books. So it's a race that combines the high stakes of deeply divided electorate, the historical weight of a potential presidential comeback, and the forward-looking possibility of breaking the highest glass ceiling in American politics. That is something to be watched and looked forward to.
Absolutely, Ramesh. And as we wrap up, we want to remind our listeners to stay informed, engage in respectful political discourse, and most importantly, make your voice heard at the ballot box. And your vote matters now more than ever.
Couldn't agree more, Shalin. Like the thing is, like people should not supporting a candidate is fine, but don't get aggressive with people if they are not agreeing with you. So that's all for today, folks. And join us next time as we continue to analyze the most pressing issues of our time. Until then, keep your eyes on these polls, your ears open for new developments, and your minds engaged in the democratic process as a whole.
Well said, Ramesh. In the last, I just want to make one point, emphasize on one point. I strongly believe in this election, turnout percentage is going to be key decisive factor.
Yes,
if there will be higher turnout of the voters, stronger probability will be with Kamala Harris.
That is true.
It is going to be Trump. Anyways, so for our viewers, keep watching with us. Keep aligned with us. Share your comment with us, with our channel, and subscribe our channel for our healthy and analytical discussion. Till then, bye bye.
Yeah, till then, we'll meet you again. And till then, keep connecting with the truth and keep watching Aaj Samvad. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye bye.